Alright hunters, after thoroughly revising the sets that are going to be in this video, I've got for you guys my Greatsword video finally coming at you. If you've been watching the series, you know that originally I wanted this to be episode 4, but I'm glad I took some time with it because I was able to craft 3 fun builds with 3 unique different ways to play. For me, the Greatsword was a weapon I learned in Monster Hunter World. And honestly, I've always gravitated towards the faster hitting weapons. But this series of sets will take my personal playstyle of the Greatsword while offering a fun and interesting take on the combat. For our first set today, we have for you a silkbind boost build. Now I know I've been doing these for almost every single one of these videos, but silkbind boost is such a strong skill to have on a weapon. I call this one the Sieglinde Silk. It uses the Rathian Greatsword with Silkbind Boost grandfathered in from the previous tree. You have to make sure that before you make this weapon, you grandfather in the skill Silkbind Boost from the Golem Blade 1 before going into the Rathian tree. Just a friendly reminder. Our weapon is of course the Sieglinde, the final upgrade of the Rathian tree. Our gear is the Kaiser Crown, Nargucuga Mail S, Rathalos Braces S, Anjanath Coil S, Ingot Grease S, with a Weakness Exploit 2 Talisman with at least a level 2 deco slot. Mine has Wex 2 and Poison and Attack 2, with a level 3 slot. So if you have something similar, you can have this exact build that I'm going to showcase for you guys today. On the decoration front, we're going to go pretty simple here. We're going to have 3 steadfast decorations on the head and chest, Tenderizer on the arms, 2 critical decos are going into the waist and talisman, and 3 satiated are going onto the waist and legs. This gives us critical eye 7, attack boost 6, 3 points in crit boost, weakness exploit, stun res, and free meal, and 2 points in poison attack with 1 in evade window. By this point I probably sound like a broken record, since I do love me some silkbind boost. But this build boasts some serious power, especially when you're using your silkbind attacks. Primarily, we're going to be using the Adamant Charge Slash for some big damage. Using this attack, it makes a great wake-up hit, especially after using Power Sheath. This set is a simple set, with high critical chance and high attack. On top of the increased damage from attack, critical, and the silkbind boost, we also get a decent amount of poison to hit our prey with. As you can see, this set doesn't natively run flinch free, but if you do take this into multiplayer, or if you're playing with people that aren't very good about knowing their zones, I do suggest replacing one of the satiated or steadfast decorations with a brace decoration. For our next set, I have for you guys a themed set. I call this one the Undying Lich King. For this one, we're going to be leveraging some defensive skills built into the Kushala Blessing 3-piece skill and HP regen skills to ensure that you can stay alive and cut down whatever's in front of you. Our weapon is going to be the Abominable Greatsword from the Gosfarog tree. While this does have negative affinity, there are a few ways we could mitigate that, but that's something I'll get into later. For the gear, we're going to be running the Skull Visage S, 3 pieces of Kushala gear, the Sista, Grip, and Crus on the chest, arms, and legs respectively, the Mizuha Sash on the waist, and our talisman has to have either Recovery Up 3 or Recovery Up 2 with a minimum level 2 deco slot. For mine, I have a Stun Res 3, Recovery Up 2 with a level 3 and 2 slot. So, if you have something similar, you can just copy this set. For decorations, we're going to put 3 Challenger decos on the weapon and head, Flawless in the chest, Grinder, Brace, and Recovery in the arms, waist, and legs respectively, and on my talisman I'm running Handicraft and Medicine. This grants us the following skills: Agitator 5, 3 points in Peak Performance, Recovery Up, Recovery Speed, and Stun Res, all maxed out. We got 3 points on the Kushala Blessing skill, and 2 points in Handicraft. There's also a few level 1 skills that we have here, but the main ones that matter are Speed Sharpening, Fortify, Flinch Free, and Diversion. The Pierce Up skill is basically useless on this one, but maybe the Camelios Blessing can serve a bit of a purpose. This set pairs brutal damage with high survivability. The Kushala Blessing with Recovery Up and Speed work in tandem to ensure that we stay alive. Recovery Up increases the amount of health we get back, Recovery speed regenerates your red damage 4 times as fast, and the 3 points in Kushal's Blessing allows health to be recovered beyond the red. To bolster our damage, we have the Gossera Greatsword, a weapon boasting incredibly high raw with a little bit of ice damage. That was essentially the inspiration behind my calling it the Undying Lich King. Agitator 5 and Peak Performance 3 will boost your raw damage by 40, and to manage that negative affinity on a weapon, there are a few ways around it. You can bring with you a Palico running Rousing Roar. When Agitator procs, you get that 15% bonus to affinity. You can hunt with people that use affinity boosting skills, or you can run any of the Rampage skills that boost affinity. Personally, what I did is I opted for Brutal Strike, for all those moments that the negative affinity does count against me. For our final set this installment, I bring to you the Hellfire Knight. This set utilizes Hellfire Cloak and a Magnamalo weapon running the Magnamalo Soul Rampage skill. On top of that, we have some damage boosting skills to take this set even further. For our weapon, as mentioned previously, we're going to be using the Sinister Shadow Blade from the Magnamalo tree. The Anjanath Helm and Mail S are going to go on the head and chest. The Juratotus Vambraces on the arms. Sinister Tacit's S and the Gossera Greaves S round out the gear that we're wearing. For the talisman, it has to have at least 2 points of Agitator, and the decoration slots are honestly up to you. For my talisman, I'm running an Agitator 2, Quick Sheath 2 with a level 1 slot on it. For the decorations, we have Brace in the weapon, 2 Crisis Decos in the weapon and head, 3 Steadfast Decos in the chest and arms. The arms also get a Hellfire and Crisis Deco. We're going to put Hellfire on the waist. And with this, you have 2 random level 1 slots you can put into. Honestly, pick whatever you want. Personally, I went for Grinder. This gives us Agitator 5, 3 points in Focus, Resuscitate, Stun Res, and Hellfire Cloak, 2 points in Quick Sheath and Speed Sharpening, and 1 point in Marathon Runner, Punishing Draw, Slugger, and Flinch Free. With the previous 2 sets, I built them around Rage Slash, mostly because I couldn't fit Focus in, and honestly, you don't really need Focus when you're running Rage Slash builds. This set though is built around running True Charge Slash. Your silkbind moves also work in tandem with Hellfire Cloak. So, Hellfire Cloak will grant you a plume of Hellfire when the monster is enraged. Using a mobility silkbind move, or either one of your silkbind maneuvers, it'll drop the plume on the ground. The first time a monster comes in contact with it, it knocks it down, opening up for a perfect opportunity to TCS. Monsters do build up a resistance to it, but eventually you can get a couple more knockdowns. To increase our damage, we are running both Agitator, Resuscitate, and the Magnamalo Soul Rampage skill to further boost how much damage we output. Since we aren't running any additional attack boost, the 52 additional points of raw damage we get, 20 from Agitator, 20 from Resuscitate, and 12 from Magnamalo Soul, make up that disparity. So there we have it. 3 more sets finally done, and I'm so glad I was able to work out my Greatsword sets. To be honest, I only had the Sieglinde Silk set made, with the other 2 kind of being in limbo. I was honestly unsatisfied with the other 2. One set I was working on was going to be an homage to my good friend ChubbieBunz, a fellow streamer who likes to run support Greatsword sets. But I have plans for another video later on where I'll put together some support sets as an extras video for this one, kind of like bonus content. Anyway, thank you all so much again for tuning in. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you dug what you saw today. And as always, you can find me live on Twitch, typically Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. But until next time, you stay frosty, Sway Hunters, and get lifted. I'll catch you guys in the next one.